Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you're serious about the digital asset space. And let's get right into it today. One take and uncut. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. So guys, shared by Reborn13 on Twitter. This guy puts out some very, very convincing evidence. Great sources. Always enjoy his tweets. So definite follow here. So right here, we are quoting these documents. Of course, we can see these gentlemen talking about the ISO 2022 migration. Now, this is basically a globalized standard for messaging regarding payments. Remember, there's messaging, and then there's actual true payment, or we should say settlement with finality. I believe he says it somewhere. Let me see here. I wanted to give you a quick overview of it. Right here. So as we can see highlighted, the UK payments industry is moving to ISO 222 is how I pronounce it, which is the emerging global standard for payments messaging. This standard creates a common language for payments data across the globe. All right. Huge long-term benefits, guys. Freeing capital, we get it. Interoperability is one of the main things we need to see the fruition of the Internet of Value. Now, as we can see here, these are some quotes. I'm going to read this. So this is literally titled, From Ripple to a Wave, right? It's not hard to imagine, for example, how the new standard could unlock revenue-enhancing opportunities through new product development and innovation, or how it could improve efficiency through reduced labor requirements and lower maintenance costs. Huge benefits, are accompanying this. Of course, we have King Solomon sharing those ISO 222 updates for Swift back in February 21st. I remember sharing that. And of course, the road to ISO adoption, guys. Even payments.com talking about this, of course. And this gentleman here, the global head of Swift's program itself, to learn more about their commitment to assist the financial community in this transition to the new standard in cross-border payments. Anything that has to do with cross-border payments, guys, we can basically see, some relation to whether it's the company Ripple or the problem in industry as a whole that XRP is aiming to solve. So you have to pay attention to what's going on. Right here, the benefits of implementation may be clear, but the path to compliance is not. Right? This ISO migration introduces significant changes to the extended ecosystem that supports the payment value chain. Most banks will find that they will need to make some fairly significant changes across the organization if they want to achieve this ISO migration compliance ahead of industry deadlines. All right, we are familiar with the deadlines, and we're familiar with 2021 in November, all these changes, and then by 2025. Obviously, it's my speculation that XRP price will be much higher before those points, but just wanted to share this and show you what's moving on in the industry. All right, so the reality is that the new standards has far-reaching and highly strategic implications for most banks and financial institutions. In fact, this adoption may unlock some of the value-adding opportunities that financial institutions, FIs, have been chasing for years. It's not hard to imagine these new experience, as we can say here, these opportunities. I've already covered that. Huge things ahead, guys. All right, so we kind of get the gist for the ISO migration, all right, and you can see the CHAPS migration. I know we've seen that in the past. And of course, the document shared by Everest or NTT Data showing instead of CLS, continuous link settlement, we basically are utilizing interledger protocol for interoperability between these money networks. It can go even beyond these types of networks and also payment networks altogether. Mobile networks, government networks, FIs, banks, you name it. All right. And then, of course, the XRP ledger, and then transferring XRP between these, and then bridging all these platforms and industry sectors as well. Internet of Things, trade finance, capital markets, blockchain, and other distributed ledger technologies, payment platforms, marketplaces, and any other platforms. As we can see, social media, we can see search engines and search and information. We can see, the platforms that utilize and access this. So huge things ahead. As we can go down here, shared by Damor Sahami, originally sharing this. So again, Ripple to a Wave, and showing the assets.KPMG Content. And again, I have this popped up. Basically, what I wanted to show you, just to be brief out of this, is the global payments infrastructure is moving to a single messaging standard, guys. Remember, cross-border standards, not only in messaging, but in settlement. It is our hopes that XRP is one of the primary drivers for settlement with this. And I really like the keywords they're using, from a ripple to a wave. I think it's pretty clever, and I really enjoy this. So right here, better language, talk about the benefits if you guys want to read more about that. And then this quote, lack of interoperability due to different standards and formats, so different messaging. There's not that same standard between groups. It sometimes has to go through like 5 to 10 different channels, and it can be very clunky. It requires human intervention, the cost to do that, and human capital cost to fix these errors. Sometimes the money's lost entirely. It's just ridiculous, especially in the modern era, right? Have resulted in significant delays and efficiencies in processing payments. We already know the error rate of a SWIFT payment as well. It's complete ludicrous, guys. All right, and then there was one thing right here. The adoption of ISO 222 may unlock some of the value-adding opportunities that FIs have been chasing for years, as we've already said. And then right here, so get ready. Bottom line is ISO 20022 is quickly becoming the global language for financial messaging. This is an industry mandate that is expected to standardize high-value payments processing globally. That is the goal. We do not want XRP just doing, small on-demand liquidity transactions, low value, high volume. We want the higher value. With some of these markets, guys, there's $50 million being sent like every 3 to 5 seconds. Do you have any idea what that would do for the price of XRP and sustain it at high levels for the future? And then as it becomes more valuable, it then becomes more liquid. We know Chris Larson, executive chairman, of Ripple, their goal, and again, even Brad Garlinghouse has said this, they want literally XRP to be as liquid as some of the top currencies like the Swiss franc of the world. If you understand that, the assets with the most liquidity will win and come on top. This comes hand in hand with the higher value. These companies cannot say that. Obviously, we already know the reasons behind this. Huge, huge things ahead. All I'm saying, I know I'm probably just like the biggest XRP shill ever, is if, right now XRP's at 20 cents. $200 can get you 1,000 XRP. In my opinion, I personally am telling my friends and family to at least own that and just hold it long term. Might be short term. We don't know, but I just wanted to emphasize that, guys, because huge, huge things are ahead. All right, this is all about the ISO migration. I get how it's messaging may or may not have anything to do with XRP, but this has to do with interoperability for the cross-border payments industry, which I argue has everything to do with XRP and the problem it's aiming to solve. In my previous video, we talked about the money, the idle capital that they want to free as well. So we have to pay attention to this, and I just thought, found it coincidental, maybe synchronistic a bit, from a ripple to a wave, hopefully a tsunami. All right, and I know a lot of you guys have already seen this with Brad Garlinghouse referring to XRP as a global reserve currency. We get it. No surprise. Obviously, it's a little speculation, and this was taken a little bit out of context, but thank you for sharing, Mickey B. Fresh. Mickey B. Fresh, guys, I'm sure you've seen him or heard him on Brad Keim's channel. Very, very smart guy. I always love catching those episodes. All right, so right here, XRP_Stort sharing this. This is from the 2018 World Economic Conference. We have this gentleman, Martin Armstrong, and then Michael Campbell. Now, they're talking a little bit about an SDR. I know there's been tons of speculation that XRP, and I've said it in the past that, who knows, I still have to do a lot more research with XRP even becoming, a part of the SDR, this electric SDR, this ESDR, and, being included with, a basket of, 5 to 15 currencies or, assets. Yeah, I'm not really sure. What I want to emphasize is I can't rule it out and I can't say it's going to happen, but what I could easily see happening is XRP being the bridge asset to move this value. So really quick, we're going to hear this guy.
In the aftermath,
give me your thoughts.
Is coming up with a global currency.
There is a proposal by the IMF to turn the SDR into the reserve currency per se.
Okay, so as we can see here, talking about, turning this SDR into the actual global reserve currency. Now, I'm not really sure how that would work, guys. I just wanted to share that. I guess we don't have to show this whole video, especially since it's loading and there's some issues. But I want to hear your thoughts down below. And if you guys actually have some evidence to support this claim, I'd love to hear about it. And if you want to dismiss it entirely and say it's, complete garbage, let me know, because I'm here to learn just as much as you guys. So lastly, I want to finish up with this quote that I saw. So Maddie Greenspan talking about this was pretty funny. So this gentleman, his butcher said this, "I'm not accepting Bitcoin today because the price fell below $8,000. And again, he's still got a lot to learn. You have to realize the benefits behind this technology. You want to accumulate as much as possible at a lower price because then you're getting a higher percentage or higher amount of Bitcoin, even if it is fractionalized. And anyone in cryptocurrency would understand that you want to accumulate when the price is low. This is the time to buy. You shouldn't be crying. Not the time to cry. It's the time to buy. And that is, not financial advice. Please do your own research. Always, do what is fit for you and your own economic and personal situation, guys. I personally diversify. I get crap all the time about talking about XRP, but what I'm saying is this is a long-term hold. This is accumulation. This is my philosophy. I'm accumulating because I truly, truly believe that this is going to be one of the greatest changes in financial history to come. And XRP is a portion of that. So right here, Boyd Oaks, I really like this. Short-term thinking is what will destroy many crypto investors. I can't even add on to that. Just such a good point. Thank you for sharing, sir. So with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Basically, just wanted to talk about the ISO migrations coming. Keep an eye on that. I found it funny that they're using the same, vernacular with Ripple to a wave. Keep an eye on some of these bigger groups as well mentioning this. Huge, huge things ahead. We are just getting started. We'll see what happens with the markets coming up. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next one. Thanks.